Well, I think, from the beginning of my career, I've always done stuff that I wanted to do. So I got my Grammy for my show, I think, the recording of my Broadway show. The Tony Tom and I got, because we were two of the producers of Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Have you ever witnessed a media giant crumble on live television? For decades, Whoopi Goldberg dominated The View, steering heated debates with her signature charisma, sharp wit, and unfiltered opinions. But in a jaw-dropping live showdown, everything changed. A moment so explosive that it shattered her iron grip on daytime TV, leaving fans and critics questioning her legacy, influence, and future on the show. What really happened? Let's break it all down. For years, Whoopi's style was both admired and criticized. She dominated every broadcast with such self-assurance that her opinions seemed absolute. Whether you loved or loathed her, it was impossible to ignore her influence. Every comment and laugh was carefully crafted to silence dissent and steer conversations in a direction that suited her. But behind the polished exterior lay a vulnerability that no one expected would ever come to light. It all began on a seemingly ordinary day at the studio. The cameras were rolling, the audience was buzzing with anticipation, and Whoopi was in full command, guiding discussions on the day's hot-button issues. The familiar mix of rapid-fire exchanges and confident comebacks had become the norm. Then, amid the usual chatter, a new voice emerged, Karoline Leavitt. Unlike the other panelists, Karoline didn't rely on rehearsed sound bites or cliched talking points. Instead, she brought a measured, deliberate perspective that cut through the usual noise. As the discussion shifted toward a controversial topic, Karoline seized the moment with a calm, incisive remark. Her words weren't filled with the usual bravado. They were built on undeniable facts and quiet conviction. In an instant, the studio's atmosphere changed. Whoopi's trademark smirk wavered as Karoline's straightforward challenge exposed weaknesses in the dominant narrative. The tension in the room became palpable. The audience, which was once laughing along, now sat in stunned silence, witnessing the unexpected unraveling of a once unshakable authority. Karoline's challenge wasn't just a counterpoint, it was a direct attack on the long-standing status quo. While Whoopi had spent years silencing dissent with a dismissive tone, Karoline's steady demeanor and carefully chosen words forced everyone to reconsider the narrative. The impact was immediate. Cameras zoomed in, and the moment quickly spread across social media. Viewers around the world were captivated, their screens filling with comments, memes, and heated debates. In that split second, the established order of The View was irrevocably altered. The repercussions extended far beyond the studio. Within days, rumors of defamation lawsuits and financial fallout began to surface. Advertisers who had long supported the show's high ratings started questioning their alliances.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
The network was forced into damage control, facing the reality. That controversy on live television comes with a hefty price tag. What had started as a dramatic on-air moment was now unfolding into a broader crisis, one that called into question the very principles of accountability in media. This incident also ignited a wider debate about the role of wokeness in today's broadcasting. Karoline's challenge wasn't merely about personal authority, it raised a fundamental question. Can the values and practices that once defined a show remain relevant in a rapidly changing cultural landscape? For many viewers, the confrontation symbolized more than just a power struggle between two television figures. It was a reflection of a society demanding greater transparency and responsibility from its media. Supporters of Whoopi argued that her decades of experience and unique ability to engage millions were invaluable. They believed her aggressive style was essential for maintaining balance in a media environment where voices on all sides could easily be drowned out. Yet, critics countered that the very traits that had made Whoopi a star were now liabilities. In an era where audiences expect authenticity over theatrics, her dismissive approach had begun to feel outdated and even harmful. The fallout from that pivotal episode forced the network, and the industry as a whole, to re-examine long-standing practices. How much longer could a personality built on dominating conversation thrive in an age where every comment is scrutinized and shared instantaneously? the incident highlighted the risks of allowing unchallenged authority to go unchecked. In today's media landscape, even the most influential figures must adapt or risk becoming relics of a bygone era. As the controversy grew, so too did the discussion about the responsibilities of live television. The incident underscored a harsh reality.
25 years ago when I wrote this, I was going through menopause, and I thought, none of the superheroes look like anyone that looks like me. And I didn't understand why I could not be saving the world too.
Right?
I knew that the chest was on the floor, ass had gotten big, and I don't think that should stop you. Right? I don't think.
Every word uttered on air carries weight, with consequences that extend well beyond the studio. The dramatic shift in that single episode served as a reminder that the media must evolve in response to the audience's growing demand for integrity and fairness. It wasn't enough to rely on star power and aggressive rhetoric when the stakes were as high as they were in our interconnected world. Amid the swirling debates and corporate crises, one clear truth emerged. The audience was no longer content with surface-level entertainment. Viewers were now demanding substance, accountability, and a genuine willingness to engage with challenging ideas. The dramatic confrontation between Whoopi and Karoline wasn't simply a moment of personal vulnerability, it was a signal that the era of unchallenged media authority might be coming to an end. The shockwaves from that episode continue to reverberate across the industry. Analysts predict that this incident could mark the beginning of a long overdue transformation in daytime television. The show's loyal viewers, many of whom had grown accustomed to a predictable narrative, are now calling for a more balanced and nuanced dialogue. In an environment where every broadcast is dissected in real time, the pressure is on for media figures to be not only engaging, but also accountable. Some believe this shift will lead to a complete reinvention of shows like The View. Rather than relying on familiar formulas and established personalities, networks may be forced to innovate, seeking hosts who can navigate complex discussions with both intelligence and empathy.
To anyone who hasn't made up your mind in this election, think about your life under Donald Trump 4 years ago. Think about your life today under Vice President Kamala Harris. Under President Trump, we had 1.4% inflation. Today, prices are 20% higher. Under President Trump, we had the most secure border in our nation's history. Today, Kamala Harris has allowed a border invasion of more than 20 million illegal people.
Others see this as a momentary blip in a long tradition of controversial television, suggesting that established figures like Whoopi might simply adapt and reclaim their positions of power. Only time will tell which direction the industry will take. What is undeniable is that the confrontation between Whoopi Goldberg and Karoline Leavitt has sparked a broader conversation about the future of media. It has raised essential questions about how we, as viewers, want to be spoken to and what we expect from those in positions of authority. In an age where every word can be shared globally in seconds, the pressure is on for media personalities to deliver more than just entertainment. They must offer insight, authenticity, and a willingness to evolve. Ultimately, the events of that day on The View serve as a microcosm of the larger cultural and political shifts underway in our society. They remind us that even the most powerful figures can be challenged, that established institutions must adapt to the changing demands of an increasingly discerning audience, and that accountability is not just a buzzword, but a necessity in today's fast-paced world. As we look back on that dramatic episode, it's clear that the impact of that confrontation extends far beyond ratings or momentary controversy. It has sparked an ongoing dialogue about the nature of media power and the responsibilities that come with it. The lessons learned that day are a call to action for everyone involved in the media industry, from network executives to on-air talent, to embrace change, to engage with their audiences on a deeper level, and to recognize that in the modern era, true strength comes not from domination, but from genuine connection and accountability. So, as we continue to follow the unfolding story of The View and similar platforms, one thing remains certain: the landscape of daytime television is on the cusp of transformation. Whether this marks the beginning of a new era of transparency and balanced dialogue, or whether it will be dismissed as an isolated incident, the conversation has been set in motion. And as viewers, we have the power to shape that conversation. With every comment, every share, and every critical thought, drop your thoughts in the comments below. How do you see the future of live television evolving in an age where every moment is subject to intense scrutiny? Is this the end of an era? for unchallenged authority, or simply the start of a long and necessary evolution in how media connects with its audience?